Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We'll be looking at some stories on the show this morning. And you know how we do it on the show. We'll look at Nigerian stories and how it's happening in the world of sports. Yes, it's a good news this morning also from Malaysia, where the girls have actually etched their name in the history book of cricket world, and then in Nigerian sporting world. They actually wrote their name with a golden pen at the 2025 ICC U19 Cricket Women's World Cup. We'll be looking at that, and also we'll be looking at midweek games in the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) match day 20, and also interesting action in match day 3 of the Nigerian Women's Football League. It's all derbies, rivalry, regional rivalry, and co. We'll be looking at all of the fixtures for match day 3 in Group A and Group B for the Nigerian Women's Football League. And also, we still got some story. Reactions still continue to trail the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations draw. The group where Nigeria is in Group C alongside Tanzania, Uganda, and Tunisia, all in the same group. We'll be looking at that also. And there's a couple of transfer stories on the show this lovely morning on the program 360 Sports. So, all right, let's begin from the National Sports Festival. Yes, the 2028 National Sports Festival would right now states has been bidding, and now one state has also joined the bid. That is Bayelsa State to bid for hosting rights of the 2028 National Sports Festival. We know that the National Sports Festival is our own mini Olympic Games, and it's no other good time for this particular festival, because in 2028 we also have the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. So it's a good timing for Nigerian sports, and a good one. The next edition will be hosted by Ogun State this year, and then Enugu State will host the next one, and that is in 2026 next year. And then for the 2028 National Sports Festival, states, the bidding process has been open for states. So if your states have what it takes, has the facilities and what have you, if you can host the remaining 35 states, including the FCT in your own state, then you are to bid for the 2028 National Sports Festival. So we are looking forward to the 2028 National Sports Festival as let's see the states that is going to win the hosting right. But right now we have Bayelsa State now bidding to host that sports festival in 2028. I have Canis joining me on the show this morning. Canis, welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV.
Good morning, Fash. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's straight to business. The National Sports Festival 2028, and one of the states in the country, Bayelsa State from the South region, are bidding if maybe they can be picked to host the 2028 National Sports Festival.
Yeah, we want to see them vying for hosting rights and hosting sports. We've seen that the 2026 one has been awarded to Enugu, and if that goes on, they would be probably the first southeastern states to be hosting that competition. It's beautiful to see states having interest in National Sports Festival and wanting to be the host cities, host states in the country. A huge opportunity for Bayelsa to grow their sports activities and to make people interested in the national sports in Nigeria.
Okay, make people show interest when it comes to sports. Take nothing away from Bayelsa, Delta, Edo in that region, and then some of the southwest states also when it comes to sports. But let's see, it is not left if after the inspection of their facilities and whatever, the National Sports Commission is saddled with the responsibility. If they are satisfied with what is on ground, then they might just be given the hosting right to host the 2028 National Sports Festival. Also, in 2028, the Olympic Games will be coming up. So it's an avenue for us to also showcase our talents and then pick At least it's going to be a good one. Canis, quickly, I think in 2028 is a good timing for the National Sports Festival.
We can't travel to 2028 at this time, but from where we are sitting, yes, it is. It looks like it's a biennial competition. That's what it's supposed to be. So after 2026, we'll have that of 2028, and hopefully we'll have that of 20. As a matter of fact, to be vying for hosting rights for a competition that would happen in 2028, to be vying for it in 2025, it's not even too early. It's very okay. And by now, we should have even started talking of 2030 because it's just 5 years. Getting facility, the stadia, the tracks, every single a facility that we are going to need, to carry out that competition. We've got to inspect it and we've got to fix it to get them up to the right standard before the competition. So yes, it's pretty much a good time to host that competition, to host that sports festival.
To host that sports festival, like I said, it is an Olympic year, and it will afford all of the sporting federations to also see one or two athletes of who they can pick to represent us, maybe in the various sports that we qualified for at the Olympics. All right, let's move away from the National Sports Festival and head straight to the Asian side of the world. This time around, Malaysia. Yes, Canis, these girls, you talked about this the other day on the show. These girls have given it all. And indeed, I'm proud to be a Nigerian at this point in time, and also to associate myself with these young ladies for what they've done at the ICC Under-19 Cricket Women's World Cup. That is the Nigerian Female Yellow Greens, the Junior Female Yellow Greens as they are called. Putting against all, putting Nigeria's name on the global map when it comes to cricket. Fantastic one for these girls. They blew everybody away. The commentator was screaming at the top of his voice when this girl did the unthinkable just earlier as of this morning.
Yeah, I didn't see that happening, but we are all excited for them. For me, it was about them going to the competition and actually competing. Even if you're going to win them, they are not giving you the victory. You've got to fight for it. You've got to take it if you want to win them before they leave the competition. That they have done. That they have shown that with pretty much investment and more exposure, they would get better. And the most beautiful part of this is that they are under 19. And so can we keep that team? Can we grow them from there? Can we still put in investments in Nigeria that would make us to fetch our talents in competitions like that? So it's beautiful to watch, and it's a big plus for Nigeria.
A big plus. I have Ephraim joining up on the show this morning. Ephraim, welcome to 360 Sports. For the Yellow Greens cricket team, Ephraim, these girls did the unthinkable, beating New Zealand, one giant nation when it comes to cricket, and this morning also beating Ireland, but they just lost by 1 point to England. If not, they would have been in the semi-final, but despite that, they can hold their heads up high for what they have done at the tournament.
Just like Kani said, as I was joining, nobody saw that coming, and kudos to them for being able to get these results together. And it tells us of something. When you start young, catch them early, you can get the results you so desire. So congratulations to the entire managers or handlers of this team. And these girls, they should be kept together so that they can have a progressive development.
Okay, a progressive development. They defeated Ireland by 6 runs, and Lilian Ude was voted the man of the match after that winning Ireland this morning because of her 3 wickets that gave Nigeria the victory. It was a rack-nerving game, but at the end of the day, we were able to pick the maximum point in Group 2 of the Super 6. Let's look at the table quickly. If you can see the table of that game, where, like I said, the 2 countries at the top of the table qualifies for the semi-final. But it was a good one. Nigeria finished with 5 points after playing that game against Ireland. If they had played England, if not for the rain, maybe, just maybe, Canis, we would have been celebrating these guys making it to the semi-final. But that game against England, the rain came down and it was washed away. So points shared. Canis, are you there?
Yeah. We would never know. Would never know if they would have scaled through if they didn't play Ireland. So the whole issue, the whole thing that we can take out from the competition now, just have to look at the positive side. Being that age, going into a world championship and doing what they've done, we can only say, celebrate with them and invest more in these sports so that we can catch them young, get these talents, and keep the teams as we get them so that they can grow and represent us at the bigger stages of the competition.
Okay, bigger stage of the competition. Ephraim, the coach of the side, that is Sarah Bakita, assisted by Lillian, Blessing A team, not Lillian now. Lillian is still the junior player playing in there. But Blessing A team, who was formerly the captain of the Yellow Green senior women's team. Both coaches did so well. Sarah is a Kenyan, and we know Kenya also, they are good side when it comes to cricket. Take nothing away from that country. They've pushed these girls to this level. And if you look at it, the coming in of Sarah, how well and how good do you think it was for the team?
Yeah, when you look at there are parallels to draw. You look at the Nigerian basketball female team as well. When we had a woman manage the team, there was a particular trajectory the nation was on, not really getting the results. Someone was drafted in who had played the game, who understood the game, and then we saw the impact it had and the kind of results she got. So bringing in someone with that level of experience who had played the game as well, probably is beginning to get some life into the cricket sport in Nigeria. I can only hope that they can sustain this, keep them together, both players and the coaching crew.
Okay, keep them together and the coaching crew for Sarah and Blessing 18. It was a good work from these ladies coaching these young girls. Yes, and also kudos to the Nigerian Cricket Federation for going to the grassroots to pick these cricket players. And it's just one federation in Nigeria that I believe every other federation should emulate. Let's have that table back on the screen quickly and see the points. South Africa, one powerhouse when it comes to cricket in the world, finished with 7 points and plus 3. They have a plus 3.2. That is net runs in their own game, and England follow closely. And you can see Nigeria finished third with 5 points, just 1 point adrift, and then USA women followed Nigeria with 3 points. New Zealand, a powerhouse, surprisingly finished fifth, with Ireland women occupying the bottom of Group 2 of the Super 6 stage with just 1 point. Surprisingly, Canis, if you look at New Zealand where they finished and Nigeria finishing 2 places, in fact, they are 2 places behind Nigeria. 1 place behind Nigeria, I beg your pardon, that's for New Zealand now. And you begin to wonder, a country that is known for cricket, and Nigeria just started this game, let's say 10 years back, and look at where we are.
The things we can do as a nation, it's abound. We've not done anything, like we've not even scratched the ability of what Nigeria can do in big stages. It's about commitment to the sport and getting the right administrators and getting the right athletes of the game. Every team that has been in competition and knows how to play these games, like traditionally, when you go back to history, it's not cast, on stones that when the competition sets out that they are going to win. We saw what Morocco did in the last World Cup and how they were the first Africa to get to the semi-finals. And surprises like that would keep happening because it's sports. It's why we love to watch it. It's what we want to see. That surprise element, that team that would go ahead to get something out of the competitions, being the underdog, the pressure and the focus of the press away from you. So it's beautiful to see. And I keep saying it that we have to still make investments in various other sports apart from football and track events, basketball, table tennis, things like that. We have to start going into, cricket, and not just participating for the sake of being present. We have to compete like Nigerians have done. We have to allow people to know that we've arrived in the competition and we want blood. We want to take something out from the competition.
All right, we want to take something out of the competition. Indeed, the girls have taken something out of that competition, finishing at that position ahead of countries like New Zealand and co. First time Nigerian women's team will attend an event like the World Cup like this, and it was the first time Nigeria went was the male under 19 in South Africa, but their performance was nothing to write home about. They crashed out from the first round of the competition, but the girls have taken the bull by the horn. It's a wake-up call for the guys to do better in their next outing. The guys are also in camp preparing for the Under 19 World Cup qualifiers. Let's leave that story and quickly go straight to Rabat. Yes, it happened on Monday in Rabat, Morocco, and reactions still trailing the 2025 AFCON draws where the Super Eagles will play alongside Tanzania, Tunisia, and the Cranes of Uganda, all in the same group. And now one man is speaking. Yes, indeed, that is William Struce Ekong, the captain of the Super Eagles. Now, he reacted to that draw, and he made mention that yes, it's a good one. They just have to find their way out of that group to the next round. To you now, Ephraim, if we look at our group, on paper, it's easy, but on the pitch, it might not be easy for the Super Eagles.
Well, we don't have excuses, or we shouldn't have excuses, looking at the kind of draw we have been handed. You're talking about Tanzania, you're talking about the Cranes of Uganda. They shouldn't be an opposition, even though in football these days, you do not write people off based on pedigree or based on rankings. But sincerely, Nigerians expect the Eagles to go out there and qualify, at the very least, qualify from the group. We shouldn't be talking about whether we should qualify or not. But then again, it raises other questions. How prepared are we going? There's still 9-10 months to prepare for the tournament. The things we do between now and then will determine whether or not we're ready to actually qualify from the group. But on paper, Nigeria should qualify.
Okay, Nigeria will qualify. To Kanis, if you look at it, Ephraim just said Nigeria will qualify on paper from that group, the way things are. But let's not forget that we have this very tricky team in there, that is Tanzania. We might say, okay, we've come up against that is the Tunisians before now. We know how the North African play. But the tricky team in there, the two teams are Uganda and Tanzania. How well do you think the Super Eagles will go against this team?
I agree totally with Ephraim. The kind of group that we've been drafted into, we don't have excuse. We should be talking about topping that group. And anything short of that, we can understand. But then again, it will depend on the difference between, because at the end of the day, two teams are expected to qualify. And for that competition, we still have 4 teams to be seeded from best losers. If we don't stop the group, my expectation will be that we are going to finish a very close second. And there is no other reason why we shouldn't qualify for that group. These teams that we are speaking of, they don't have the kind of players we have. They don't have 200 million people. They don't have Osimhen. They don't have Boniface. They don't have these guys. So going into that competition, it's only going to be self-sabotaging if we don't stop that group or qualify from that group that we are in. And we would know what the coach and the team have up their sleeves, because 2 months from now we'll be saying the World Cup qualifiers their game in March. I think they have two matches, two games in the month of March. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. We want to see how prepared they are and what they are thinking before even we arrive at Morocco 2025.
Okay, before we arrive at Morocco 2025, the competition will kick off on the 21st of December and run through January 18th, 2026. All Super Eagles game will be played in Fez, and our first game will come up on the 23rd against, we are starting against Tanzania. Ephraim, let me come to you. Our first game is against Tanzania before we play Uganda and Tunisia in that group. The first game against Tanzania, I believe we might not know much about the team, but we had someone who has coached this team before. Do you think his input will be needed in the Super Eagles to scale through if Eric Chell will want to have his input? That is Iman Amunike, who once coached Tanzania.
Absolutely. That's why you have a backroom staff. They help you scout, they help you get the information that you need. And for someone who has also gone ahead to coach there, it is an added advantage for us if his services or his input is required from the head coach for an assignment like this. I see no reason why they will not consult him. I see no reason why he will not be used. But then again, like I said, and agreeing with what Canis has said, we do not have excuses not to qualify. They don't have Osimhen, they don't have Lukman, they don't have Trost, they don't have Ajayi, they don't have all the players that we have. So win your first two games. By the time you're playing the big nation, the other big team there, all the pressure is already off. So Nigeria has to just go there and win the first two games. You can draw the third game and then you qualify top of the group or second, but at least you have to qualify in the top two. So yeah, his advice could be helpful.
Okay, let's have the full group on the screen quickly. We'll just run over it, and we'll pick one of the groups and then look at it. Okay, we have in group. Let's go straight to Group D, where you have Senegal, DR Congo, Benin Republic, and Botswana. Ephraim, I will stay with you. If you look at that group, Senegal, DR Congo, Benin Republic, Botswana, it's another group that looks like that of Nigeria. Very tricky group, but for Senegal and DR Congo in there.
Yeah, you saw their performances at the last Nations Cup. Congo gave a good account of themselves. Senegal underperformed actually. So this might be redemption for them. They want to say, okay, we are better than what we gave the last time. So I expect the two of them to actually qualify. But like you say all the time, football is not something you can just go and say, okay, this is going to happen, and it happens that way. But on a good day, when they play to their strengths, they are better. The two of them are better. Senegal and Congo are better than all the other teams still there.
Okay, they are better. Canis, we have in Group A, Morocco, Mali, Zambia, Comoros host, and then Group B, Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe.
For me, Group A is actually a tough group. I would say Group A on paper for me looks tougher than Group B. Comoros actually topped their group in that qualifier, and they had Tunisia in that group, and they managed to top that group. We have Morocco. We've seen what they've been doing since the last World Cup outing. They still have pretty much the same crop of players because they were young in that competition. They still have the same coach. We have Mali, who, as much as they didn't get huge results in the last AFCON, we saw the kind of football they played with the current manager, the current coach of Nigeria now. And speaking about Group B, if I just look at that group, the first thing I'll tell you is that Egypt is going to top that table. But I can't say same for Group A. So that's why I think Group A is pretty much tougher.
Okay, Ephraim, your general assessments for the group. I think we have interesting fixtures in all of the, in all of the groups.
Yeah, I agree with him to a large extent with Canis over there. But I would like to look at Group B, where you're talking about, just if you could run the names again. You're looking at the composition where any one of them could qualify and anyone might not qualify. So it's interesting when you have what looks like a group of death. You're not sure. You have 2-3 teams that have the capacity to qualify. So when one of them doesn't go to the next round, you look at that as a group of death. So they're fairly balanced groups, but for me, A and B look at like the stronger groups.
Okay. like the stronger group. The AFCON, like I said, 21st of December 2025, the competition will be kicking off and run through to January 18th, 2026. So all of the festive period will be enjoying football actions on the continent of Africa. All right, let's leave that. Also, our own William Sekon has reacted to Nigerian group, and we're expecting to see the Super Eagles of Nigeria qualify from Group C. Now, let's come back home and quickly look at the Nigerian Premier Football League. Yes, games are lined up for today, but we'll start with this team where they have signed 11 new players. That is the full team they've got in now. Bendel Insurance of that is Edo Arsenals, as they are called, got 11 new players to their side to beef up their team for the second stanza of the league. The likes of Arinze Ogbona, Olawale Samson, Amietime, we have Richards Christopher, Iniedem, Matsara Ramsey, Salmon Okpaku, Osahan Osobo, Promise Harrison, Vincent Quickly, and Abel James are all of the names the players they've acquired for the second stanza of the 2024-2025 MPFL season. That is Bendel Insurance of Benin, Edo State. All right, we have games. Let's look at the fixtures. Match day 20. There's midweek games of the Nigerian Premier Football League. We have Aqua United, who will be at home against Lobby Stars. Bayelsa United tackles Sunshine Stars of Akure. Sunshine Stars will be away to Bayelsa United. Academy Warriors at their home grounds in Meduguri against Enugu Rangers. Kano Pillars also face Ikorodu City at the Onikon Stadium in Lagos. Katsina United welcomes Plateau United. Niger Tornadoes plays Kwara United. Then Remo Stars will be at the stadium in Ekene. The Remo Stars are topping the Nigerian Premier Football League table against Abia Warriors. Bender Insurance will face their Niger Delta neighbors, Rivers United, at their Doki Amasimaka Stadium. And Shooting Stars of Ibadan entertains Nasarawa United. Nasarawa United are struggling. Ephraim, I'll start with you before I go to Canis. We'll have mouth-watering fixtures for the midweek games in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
Yeah, talking about the games generally, you look at just halfway into the season before the games resumed last weekend, and teams in the top four, the top six, had already lost 4, 5, 6 matches. It tells you that the level of competition, if you take it from that perspective, is quite high, because teams find it very difficult to win away, apart from Remo, that changed the trajectory in the first 5, 6 weeks of the season before they began to have consistent losses away from home. The first 4 matches, they went on the bounce winning. Now, the technical quality, I've sat down to try and watch a couple of those games. There's a lot of improvement needed. The game is a bit laid back. It's a bit sluggish in the league at the moment. And I think there's something our technical advisors for these various teams need to do. So beyond just having big name fixtures, the quality of the game, the technical understanding of the players should be improved.
Okay. Canis, if you also look at the fixtures for the midweek games, I think it's a balanced fixture for me. Having started the second stanza of the season, we saw some big names. Enugu Rangers lost their first game of the second stanza last weekend to Niger Tornadoes at home in Enugu. And they are on a away side this evening against Academy Warriors, who are also doing well this season under the Flying Eagles coach, that is Aliu Zubairu.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, but I saw the results, 2-1 to Niger Tornadoes, and I didn't like it. I was looking for Electrical's post-match conference, and I heard him say that this is the team that won the last NPFL. We would be back. We would remember this day, what happened in this game, and consider it the turning point of the competition. So we're looking forward to that. And after he's just saying it, he's facing a strong competition, and that is the Academy Warriors. So we want to see what happens in the game. And there is something Ephraim was saying, which is very, very critical in the NPFL. It's technicalities of the game. We've got to see improvements every season. So we have to start thinking of data analytics in the league. We have to start looking for data providers. It mustn't be like Opta, StatsBomb, Y Scouts, like those people that provide for the big leagues in Europe. We can start looking for, people that are cost effective from home. We can start putting that, because that's how you know that this player made 3 tackles last season. You can say that this player was able to dribble just 5 players. You have to start seeing how to help that player, how to get the best out of that player. The eye test is not enough. We need those data analytics to put in place, to store them and to revisit them, to start considering using this information we have to better performance of the athletes and the teams. We cannot survive and go forward in the NPFL without data analytics. It is almost impossible. So increasing the technicalities of the game and trying to better performance and how the players play, how they understand the game, we have to embrace data analytics.
Okay, which game are you picking for the midweek games? Let's have the fixtures back on the screen and pick your game for this midweek.
Easily, Academy Warriors versus Enugu Rangers, and I want to see Enugu Rangers winning that match.
Okay, Ephraim, I'll come to you. Which game are you picking?
Well, you might not like what I'm going to say. The games don't really move me for this week because I spent time watching and I didn't quite enjoy what I saw last weekend. So I'm sorry, it's not working for me right now with the league.
Okay, all right. Your Adamawa United are playing in the National League. Let's see how far they can go if they will get promoted back to the Nigerian Premier Football League. All right, we're still looking at the Nigerian football leagues now. This time around, we'll go to the women's side. Also, it is match day 3 in the Nigerian Women's Football League. Match day 1 has come and gone. Match day 2 and now match day 3 is upon us. We have 2 groups, Group A and Group B. And for match day 3, it's all about derbies and regional clashes. We have in Group A, Edo Queens, the 2 teams who have a perfect start this season. They've won 2 games out of 2. Edo Queens will be at the Samuel Ogbomida Stadium playing Remo Stars Ladies. Ekiti Queens against Danas Ladies is a Southwest derby. Confluence Queens versus Nasarawa Amazons, a North Central derby. And then we have Heartland Queens of Owerri will battle Abia Angels. That is Southeast Derby. So it's all derby games and regional derby in Group A. For Group B, Rivers Angels will play FC Robo Queens of Lagos, Adamawa Queens. That is where Ephraim is. Will battle Delta Queens. We have Bayelsa Queens versus Benue Queens. It's all about Queens in that derby. And then Niger Ratters of Abuja will be at home to play Ibom Angels of Akwa Ibom. Ephraim, I will start with you. If you look at also the Nigerian Women's Football League, I think we've seen improvement in the Women's Football League now. We can see these games, some of these games are screened, they are streamed live on national television, and we have games match day 3 today with a lot of derbies and regional derbies most especially in Group A.
Yeah, I would like to see how the game between the Raptors and Ibom Angels pans out. A few things I've seen have caught my attention. I'm not, at the other time I said there are so many things and what all the names they have there, but I'm looking out for Raptors and Ibom Angels for this particular fixture list we have.
Okay, that is in Group B. To you, Canis, also we've seen improvement in the Women's Football League this season, and now you can watch these games on national TV. You can also stream them live online and see some action where women play the best of football.
What TV stations, TV network can someone see these games in the national?
On national
who televises
TV,
this game?
Nigerian National TV. You can see it there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's there was a time you spoke about Chan, and you were asking what can we do to make Chan popular, for people to know Chan, so for Chan to be like other competitions. And I made mention of media, radio, TV stations, local TV stations, and that's exactly what is happening with this female league category. So we we love that, and we want to see more of that. We even want to see games like that in bigger platforms because it should be accessible to the people. A lot of people don't know in Nigeria that the NPFL have the teams in NPFL also have the football institutions also have female teams, and so we have to allow people to enjoy what we can do with the football.
Okay, enjoy what we can do with football. You can also stream live these games on the National Women's Football League TV online. You can get those top fixtures that will be coming up this evening, and you're sure to get all of the results both for the NPFL and then the Nigerian Women's Football League, the results of those games on our sports show. All right, let's quickly look at these transfer stories on the show this morning. Kainis, I'll begin with you. Boniface, after signing a new contract with Bayer Leverkusen, just a day after that, boom. Before then, though, there were transfer rumors surrounding him from the Middle East. And you know, when these guys from the Middle East are coming, they have the bag of the money. So it's always tempting for you to reject it as a player. But right now, Boniface is going to be earning 15 million euro per season at Al Nassr. Definitely another good news for him is that he's going to be playing alongside CR7.
Yes, at the end of the day, I saw the news, and apparently different people have expressed their thoughts, and majority think he's too young to go to Al Nassr. But it could be true, but I care less about that. At the end of the day, it's the player's decision. This is his career. He knows what he wants out of his career, and we've seen that league grow so big. We've seen big names move to that league, and the 50 million I even read is net. So if it's net, it's a huge. We are speaking of a huge figure. We are speaking like about over 500 in a week. That is when you're looking at the naira equivalent. So it's up to him. And again, it's a plus. He's going to be sharing dressing rooms with big names, so he might love that experience. And best of luck to Boniface.
Okay, Ephraim, you heard it from Kainis. Why question? A lot of persons are not, because they say when you go to the Middle East, they look at that league as a retirement place where you go and collect your retirement bonus. But what do you think is in there for Victor Boniface leaving Europe and going to Saudi Arabia?
Quite simple. You know, you're down to the analytics that Canis just reeled out there, how much you'll be earning, weekly in the Nigerian currency. And then it's something that is really tempting. If the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, who are still very active, will go there. We have had players who are in their 20s and 30s go to this league to play football. Then you look at how much he has to earn. The ultimate decision lies with him. Perhaps he wants to take the next 2-3 years and build his net worth. At the age he is, he can still come back to Europe and play football. So I don't see it as a wrong decision for him. People might be talking about a career move, progression, but hey, what is the lifespan of a footballer in terms of his playing years? 10 to 15 years. Only very few play for 20 years. So he's had a few years. He might just want to get some more money for him. It's a decision he has made, and I really support him for what he has done. I'm not among those who criticize him for leaving European football to the Middle East. He wants the money now, and he's getting the money now.
Okay, Victor Boniface, go there, make your money, play football. And one good thing for me, on a personal note right now, is that he will have the chance to play alongside CR7, Mane. These are top names when it comes to football. And what else? He won the league in Europe. He got to a European competition final. I think the young man made the right move, if that is what it is. All right, let's look at this quickly, where Manchester United are also in the transfer news before it shuts down. Now they've agreed. They went back with an improved bid for Liches Dogo. Now they have agreed 30 million pounds deal for the fantastic young man, and it's going to be the first signing for Ruben Amorim if all the paperwork are okay. Now Roma, let's leave that. Roma quickly now wants Manchester United midfielder, that is Casemiro, on loan. Candidates for Casemiro, I think he's not really in the plans of Ruben Amorim, and now he wants to stay in Europe. He also got offer from the Middle East, but he is not looking to play in the Middle East right now, but wants to stay in Europe. Now Roma are in a very strong position to see if they can sign him on loan from Manchester United.
Yeah, unless Manchester United have, at the moment, if they have the financial plan that covers his wages, they can decide to still keep him, because in that position they just have Ogate. They can use Casemiro for, maybe few minutes towards the end of the game. But the truth is, the level of Casemiro now is way below. With all due respect to him, what he has offered in the game, what he has done with Real Madrid, and what he's won, it's time for him to move to a league where the pace of the English Premier League and the speed of the English Premier League is not demanded, and Roma would be a good move for him. But Manchester United should be looking for a permanent deal so that they just take him off the books.
Okay, good one. Let's see if that go. And then the last one is also on a Manchester United player, where Napoli, Juventus keep tabs on Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund, a man who came from that region, and he wants to might just be going back to where he came from. Ephraim, for Manchester United, I think someone said they need total overhauling of the team.
Manchester United does not necessarily need a total overhaul. It's just that the coach wants a system the players are not used to. And if he has more time with them, he can introduce a system and it will work. He might need a couple of players to help him implement what he wants to implement. But I personally don't think allowing this young man to go is the right move for the club. You can see his contribution, what he gives when he plays. So whatever system the coach Amorim wants to introduce, when he has 4 weeks to work with them during the end of season break, when they are really preparing for pre-season, then he can introduce that. So, but then of course, like you said, people are calling for an overhaul. Some players need to go, no doubt about that. But he needs 4 or 5 players to help him implement what he wants to implement. Then teach the ones at Manchester United what it is he wants to play with. We know some people do not fit his system. So personally, I don't think it's good for them allowing him to go.
Okay, personally, you don't think it's good for them to allow Rasmus Højlund to leave? And we'll have some European games coming up tonight, but those fixtures will be coming up on the evening sports show, that is Sports Update. All right, this is where we'll be leaving it on the program 360 Sports this morning. Thanks to you, Kainis and Ephraim, for coming up on the show. It's a good one having you guys on 360 Sports this morning.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
See you in the next show.
I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.